This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Echoing the call of the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha, the freed fishermen want Kachativa back in Indian territory. 23 fishermen say Lankan officials treated them well, but cellmates were another matter.
கொடுமைனா ஒண்ணும் படுத்தலையா எங்களை ஒரே ஒரு தவறு பண்ணாங்க பைத்தியக்காரங்களோட சேர்த்து போட்டு அடைச்சிட்டாங்க.
Snatching chain seems to be the easiest way to make the quick buck. 72 offenders reported female snatchers on an increase. Madras High Court asked the CBI to file a status report in 3 weeks on Satish Kumar's murder probe. Recent cases of mid-sea kidnapping by pirates take a negative toll on the demand for usually popular marine courses.
They would try to discourage me from joining this course many times.
A bit of a relief for US visa applicants. It's a speedy process now. Interviews not to be more than an hour long. Director threatens to go on an indefinite strike after a delay in the release of his film Krishna Leela.
நான் வருத்திக்கிறேன். எனக்கு பதில் சொல்லுங்க எனக்கு. இந்த படம் எப்போ வரும்னு சொல்லிட்டு. என் வாழ்க்கையை காப்பாத்துங்க.
It's time to take you through all the news from this evening here on the Late Night News with me, Natasha Doraiswamy. A quick look at the national headlines at this hour. Purulia arms drop case accused Kim Devi will not be extradited to India. A big setback for the CBI. Emil Jerome is guilty of culpable homicide, not amounting to murder. His fiancée Maria only destroyed evidence. After 17 infants died in the BC Roy Hospital in the last 36 hours, distraught families allege negligence. BJP may stay away from all-party meet on Lokpal bill. Nitin Gadkari tells NDTV no decision on attending yet. Rahul will decide when to join the government. Discussing him as a future Prime Minister does not undermine Manmohan Singh's authority. Our big story this evening, the good news first, of course, the 23 Indian fishermen arrested for trespassing into Sri Lankan waters have returned to Mandapam on Rameshwaram coast in Tamil Nadu after 10 days of judicial custody. However, despite not being ill-treated in any way while being imprisoned, they were confined along with a section of prisoners who were described as mentally challenged, according to the fishermen, and are now demanding that Kachativa be retrieved immediately. The Lankan Navy handed these 23 Indian fishermen over to the Indian Coast Guard this morning on the international maritime borderline, following intense political pressure by the Chief Minister Jayalalitha. This year alone, 6 Indian fishermen have been killed allegedly by the Lankan Navy, and more than 300 have fallen prey to Lankan bullets over the last 2 decades.
கொடுமைனா ஒண்ணும் படுத்தலையா எங்களை ஒரே ஒரு தவறு பண்ணாங்க பைத்தியக்காரங்களோட சேர்த்து போட்டு அடைச்சிட்டாங்க. அதாவது இந்தியாக்காரன் ஒரு பைத்தியக்காரனுக்கு சமம் சொல்ற மாதிரி எங்களை பைத்தியக்காரனோட சேர்த்து போட்டு அடைச்சிட்டாங்க.
The latest now on the Satish Kumar murder case, the Madras High Court today asked the CBI to produce the latest developments in 3 weeks' time from the investigation into this case. On June 16th, the court transferred the case to the CBI as the advocate suspected the involvement of 2 police inspectors in the murder. Now, the post-mortem found external cut injuries in Satish Kumar's body, and the court suspected that it was a case of murder. Today, the victim's side submitted that they suspect the involvement of 2 IPS officials apart from the 2 police inspectors already named in the affidavit. Now, the CBI's advocate, Chandrasekharan, told the court that they have examined 21 witnesses so far. He also told the court that there have been new findings in the case on a daily basis.
இதில் சில மூத்த ஐபிஎஸ் அதிகாரிகளும் இன்வால்வ் ஆகிருக்கலாம். அதில் விசாரணை துரிதமாக நடத்த வேண்டும் என்று வாதிட்டோம். மேலும் இந்த ஏரியல் வியூ இது போன்ற டெக்னாலஜிகளாம் அடாப்ட் பண்ணால் கூட அதுக்கான செலவு கூட நாங்கள் கொடுக்க தயார்.
Over to the education sector now. The Tamil Nadu government today sought 12 weeks' time to frame rules in the Right to Education Act. The Madras High Court, in its order earlier on Tuesday, said the rules should be framed in 6 weeks' time in the Act, as it's meant to provide free and compulsory education for children from poorer sections of society in all the schools. All schools are required to have 25% of their students from poorer families and provide them free education. The court allowed time for certain aspects but insisted that the rest of the rules should be framed in 6 weeks, as the draft rules were ready as early as 6 months ago.
We have also moved the Madras High Court with a public interest litigation seeking framing of notifying of the RTE rules. The rules were in place in 2010 December, but for the past 6 months they have not been notified. The day before yesterday, on 28th, the Honorable First Bench has directed the state of Tamil Nadu to notify the rules within 6 weeks. The state today represented and sought extension of that time, and the Honorable Bench said they are not inclined to grant extension at this stage because the rules are already, the draft rules are already in place, and directed them to approach at a later stage if there was any, there arises any difficulty.
Coming up on the other side of this short break, turning into a parental worry now, students steer clear of marine courses after the stories of Indian sailors being captured by Somalian pirates are on the rise. That's coming up on the other side.